Welcome back, everybody, to another video. Today we have a lot to talk about. The S&P 500 was up 0.2%. The Nasdaq was making record highs, closing at 0.5% up. And we have some noteworthy stocks moving up today. Robinhood is one of them, up 15%. We're going to talk about why it was up today, but lots of good news for Robinhood investors, and also lots of good news for SoFi investors as well. We're also going to talk about Amazon as well. Amazon, in my opinion, is always a buy. We're going to talk about what we're doing with it, what we're sitting on with gains, and how we're planning to move forward. And then we also are going to talk about another stock not mentioned much, but it was up 3.7% today. We're going to talk about that stock, and we're going to get into it. So with that, please go ahead and hit the like button. It's free to subscribe too if you would like, so you could go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, we're gonna jump into this video today. So the benchmark S&P 500 sector ended the day mixed. Consumer discretionary and technology were the strongest areas, while utilities and real estate fared worse. So that sums up mainly what happened in the market today. But also, tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite was the strongest of the major indexes, tacking on 0.5%, on track for a fresh record high close. And yeah, my portfolio beat both of them today. 1.47% we're up. We mentioned in the Discord intraday, we're bringing our totals up to around 130k, and that is not including all the gains that we've taken so far this year. We've taken probably another 100k of gains this year, so the portfolio is doing well. We're trying to grow it to 1 million, but we'll see how it goes from here. I mentioned in the Discord, days like this remind me that the market often rewards patience. It's not always about catching the exact bottom or top, but sometimes the real win is holding quality positions and letting compounding do the heavy lifting. It's so notable because $4,200 is the gain for today, but that was the exact amount I started my account with, $4,200, and I put it in 4 different stocks, and today the account has grown a lot, and it's just nice to see some of the snowballing effect start to take place. So that's great. In other words, too, one of our newer positions, our Shopify call, added $1,232 earlier last week in a single day. We got into that position less than a month ago, but I mentioned to the Discord that the point isn't just the number, it's about putting yourself in the right positions consistently. That's what we focus on here: steady setups, risk management, and letting the market do the work for you. So some days we have to sit on our hands and not do anything, and then some days we need to do something. But today was one of those days as well. Even since being up at this point, September 4th was the day. We were up 1,200, not a whole lot, but we can go ahead and see that totaling up as well. We were up again since then, and we're sitting about 18k in value for this position. So things are moving in the right direction. We're going to continue to watch this options play closely, and update the Discord accordingly. So moving on to Amazon. Amazon was up 1.5% today. Nice move for Amazon. Wall Street has a lot to say about it, and I have my opinions. So Amazon shares climbed 0.8%, closer to a 236.53 buy point. So it's interesting that they're calling this the buy point. It says here as well, in early July, the 50-day moving average cleared the 200-day line, a bullish technical maneuver known as a golden cross. Now, we all know what a golden cross is, but That's not really the point of this. Wall Street sees earnings rising 20% in 2025 before slowing to 14% next year. Analysts have been revising their estimates upward of late, a good sign. So it is a good sign, and in my opinion, yes, Wall Street's saying that it is a buy, and I agree. But at the same time, when this stock was around $120, they were saying the opposite. They were saying sell this stock. Don't have anything to do with this stock, and that's what Wall Streets do. That's what Wall Street does to retail investors. We're sitting on about 14K of gains on Amazon right now, and that didn't come from buying at these levels. If I'm just being just frank on that point, we didn't buy at these levels. We bought when it was more than $100 less. I picked up shares at Amazon when it was at $90, and that's what you need to be doing. You need to be looking for the right opportunities, putting yourself in the right opportunities. But I'm not saying that Amazon isn't a buy right now, but it is less of a buy than it was in those times. The risk reward is just not as high as it was previously. Amazon is one of those you buy the stock and you can sleep well at night types of stocks. But at the same time, this is a lesson to take away that when Wall Street says to buy, that's not always the right time. So we're just mentioning that just for some of the beginners or some of those who may need that lesson kind of reminded to you, because hey, we all forget sometimes. Moving on over to Robinhood. Robinhood was up almost 16% today. That is great news for Robinhood investors. So congratulations to all of you Robinhood investors today. You're really paying off. Why was it up so much? Well, Robinhood was added to the S&P 500. It's announced that they're going to be added to the S&P 500. It says here it rebounded away from its 10-week moving average and now sits around 7% above the benchmark. Its overall performance is around 200% so far this year. So that's great. And it's also replacing in the S&P 500 Caesars Entertainment. They were down 2% today. AppLovin as well was announced to be taking MarketAxe's place in the S&P 500. It gained 10% on the news. But this inclusion news for Robinhood also has good news for SoFi. SoFi has been up, I think it's about 162% or so this year, but SoFi's been doing great. It was up 1.4% today. Inclusion is coming for SoFi as well into the S&P 500. It's just a matter of time as when it's met all the requirements at this point. So SoFi will start to be included in the S&P 500 at some point. And the great news is that when that news comes, you can guarantee that there's going to be a reaction like this in the markets as well. You can see SoFi hitting positions or levels that we haven't seen. It's going to be taking out all-time highs pretty soon, and from then, the sky's the limit. But in other news, well, there's not much news for SoFi today. Actually, it says here, there may not be a single news event making headlines for SoFi Technologies right now, but the recent moves in its share price has investors pausing to reconsider their next steps. So even though investors are pausing to reconsider the next steps, the stock was still up 1.4%. And no doubt that's not too far in a connection to the news of Robinhood being announced that it was going to be included in the S&P 500. Over the past year, SoFi shares have posted a gain of 162%, with momentum building sharply in recent months. The strong upward move comes alongside positive trends in both annual revenue growth and net income. As a result, there is a sense of renewed optimism around the company, despite lingering caution among some investors. Given how far the stock has run, the real debate is whether SoFi Technologies still trades as a bargain or if the current price already factors in expectations for outsized future growth. So, in my opinion, SoFi is still a buy. We can see that it's at $25 today, but this stock can easily be a $50 stock in the future. Ignore all the noise at this point. SoFi is a growing company, and it's coming after a lot of the big names out there, and it wants to become the bank of the future, and it's definitely going to make it, especially the way it's been acting. Just looking at some news from the past, this is something that SoFi is doing on the regular though, but SoFi increased its annual revenue growth guidance for 2024 to 22% to 23% year over year, from an initial projection of 14% to 16%. This upward revision reflects confidence in maintaining growth in lending and non-lending segments. The ratio of financial services products to lending products doubled from 3.1 times in 2021 to 6.2 times in 2024, and that's increased now here in 2025. So guarantee SoFi is going to be it's going to be a lot higher than it is now, and we're starting to see that momentum, but we can probably expect that this stock can double from here in anywhere from the next 12 to 18 months, or in the next 2 to 3 year range as well. As for me, in the public account, we are sitting on 61K worth of gains. We have a good 156% in those gains, and in value 100K worth on SoFi, and this can easily be a 200K position one day. I actually still want to add into this position, believe it or not. I have some doubt about it, just because it's always interesting buying more into a stock that you've seen at the levels of $6 and $8, and you were gobbling up shares at that point in time. But there's always a little bit of hesitancy at times when you see that stock that you were once looking at as $6 or $8, and you have cost basis of that amount, but now you see it at $25, but it's still a buy. So I want to buy more shares of SoFi, but there are also other opportunities in the market, so that's also where the hesitancy has been coming in from it. But definitely don't be surprised if you see me pick up more shares of SoFi in the future. Moving on to Uber Technologies. Uber has been up today 3.7%. It's not a popular stock in terms of it's always being in the limelight, but Uber has definitely been on the move in terms of its actual gains. I've owned this stock in the past. I no longer own it now, but I own its call options currently, some leaps that I have on it. But I see that Uber has this is around $22 or so, $14 to $22, and at this range it was around $81. That's where I held the stock for. I saw it go up to the $70 range, all the way down again to the $20 range. I picked up more shares, and I more than doubled my positions on Uber. I sold my gains since then, probably last summer or so, but I have leap options with Uber, and I believe that we're definitely going to see more of Uber soon. In the key takeaways for today, Uber shares rose after the ride-sharing giant said it will begin testing autonomous vehicles in Germany next year in collaboration with self-driving tech partner Momenta. So this will be pretty significant. Everybody, for the most part, looks at Tesla as eating Uber's lunch, but now with them, showing signs that they're going more towards autonomous vehicles. Even going to get started at testing as soon as 2026 in Germany, Munich. The stock surged today, and it drove 3.7% higher as a result. And in other news, the company also moved to sell 2.25 billion in investment grade bonds. And Bloomberg reported that with the proceeds directed toward general corporate purposes. So it's definitely going to help Uber all along in other processes, other things that they're doing. $2.25 billion is no little amount, and that's going to go to the bottom line in terms of helping them with their overall business. So you can guarantee that some of that is going to be reflected in Uber stock as well. And moving on over here for the OGs who've been following this account for some times, I still am day trading, something that we even see here from a screenshot from our Discord last week or so, on I think it was Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, but we were able to capitalize on some of the market's move on NQ downward. We went all the way down into these levels at to 23,538, and we were able to take 5 contracts up to this level. I alerted the Discord of it, and I alerted that I was looking to exit around 639. We at this point in the screenshot were up 5k. I took some runners, and the rest of my contracts went eventually hitting, and we made about 9k on this move. So yeah, if you want to be able to see that, see these moves, get even more so, even alerts to stocks that I'm buying, if you want to be able to see the options that I'm trading as well too, and get real-time alerts on all of this, go ahead and check out the Discord. The link's in the description. And yeah, that kind of wraps up the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, feel free to email me. My email is in the description as well. And feel free to subscribe if you want to get more information like this, daily updates on stocks and just overall learning and fundamentals of being a good investor. Go ahead and check the link in the description, join our Discord, and if you want one-on-one training with me as well, feel free to check that out. So with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.